Hey, friends. Just want to stop in for a brief chat about some of my plans moving forward and, what we're facing and stuff like that. Um, yeah, just wanted to pop into a space. I recorded as always, so I can post it later for anybody who couldn't make it because obviously everybody's schedules all over the planet are pretty much all over the place. Um, yeah, we got some wild things going on. We got a lot of COVID. We got the threat of Mpox, threat of H5N1. We got all these things going on. Schools reopening. Some schools having to close down because of illness already. Um, and then we have the announcement today that the United States government is going to give away free tests for COVID. Which is kind of confusing because I thought the pandemic was over. Um, if your pandemic is over, then you shouldn't need to give away free tests. So anyways, we all knew that was baloney, and here we are because things are getting so out of hand and so hard to ignore that the powers that be are like, we got to do something. Um, Unfortunately, the environmental evidence, like the real, everyday evidence, real time evidence. We always knew that would be one of the ways that people would start to have to do something about the situation we're in because um, you're running out of workers all over the place. Everybody's sick all the time. It's like 1.3 million COVID cases a day estimated in the States in the summer. We can just imagine how terrible the fall and winter is going to be, and so on, right? Um, so we got all those things going on, and how do we sort of combat the issue? How do we combat the false narratives? That it's mild, doesn't affect kids. So we're seeing reports come out that long COVID does impact kids like quite severely and quite it's quite prevalent, right? So it's not something that we can continue to just completely ignore, right? So even if we want to, and the powers that be, I think they're getting to the point where they're at that threshold where we can't just keep saying COVID's not an issue, COVID's not an issue. If we have this much sickness in the summer, right? So the whole idea of it being seasonal has gone out the window. The hybrid immunity, temporary. Any kind of immunity from COVID-19 is temporary, and if it's not cross, variant immunity, then we're going to see people getting sick over and over and over because there's the new variants are so quick to take hold and they get so much opportunity, right? So like any virus out there, if it gets an outstanding amount of opportunity to spread, it's going to, right? It's just inevitable, right? There's nothing you can do to stop a virus besides stopping a virus, and we're not doing that. So we're seeing that the virus is getting um, it's getting so much opportunity that we can't keep up with it in any regard. In vaccines, we don't have any treatments, so to speak. Anyhow, I mean, we got Paxlovid and maybe a couple of others, but our arsenal of tools to use against COVID are pretty limited. However, the ones that we have, such as masking, isolation, clean air, and education, aren't utilized, right? They're just not being used. So, so here we are, right?